It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
I'm trying to figure out how this should be phrased. Very, very down the middle.
Yeah.
Do you hold being cheated on with a busboy like a dirty cuck in your 20s?
No, again.
No?
I was not. No.
Listen, I'm it's just out in the open for us to figure this out.
Spit on. Again, I was not present. I was not forced to watch it.
We made that was made very clear.
Yeah, I wasn't like handcuffed to a chair and said, "Watch this."
So my apologies. Deleted.
Okay, remove. Yeah, thank you.
And Kyle.
Would you just delete dirty and leave cuck?
Well, I didn't want to offend your hygiene.
Okay, thank you.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
This is, it's like the storyline that just won't die.
Now, I know Annette doesn't listen.
No, not for years now.
But does she have any inkling that this has been a conversation topic on the podcast? Okay.
Yeah.
Did she have any knowledge that you were considering reaching out either with the audio of the episode or with the tale of what's been going on to Kim?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I believe I think it was last week after we finished. I got her up to speed.
Okay, good.
Hey, here's where we are. She was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she won. I mean, look what she won. Right?
Look at me. Huh?
So she's got nothing to worry about.
No,
she doesn't seem to have that jealousy bone, especially 20 plus years later. And again, especially after you already lost to a busboy. No offense, but in that time, if we were to say there was a medal stand, you would not be on the gold medal portion of that stand, and probably.
I don't think I would have medaled in this case.
Yeah, I don't want to put it in your brain, but do you think the busboy was the first? Is what I'm getting at.
You know, that's a fine question,
right? Because in the scheme of things, in terms of who won, I would say busboy won.
All right.
I mean, Kim too. So you're already, at best, you're knocked down to the bronze medal. That's you again standing, like waving sadly with your crappy medal.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff they find, like, they're just... I feel like the bronze medals are made out of, like, what they sweep off of a car accident off the side of the road. They just melt it down and...
Okay, so, like, the shattered windshield glass.
Yes.
Maybe some plastic that used to be your tail light.
Yeah, and maybe they throw it in an oven. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just put it in one of those, like a smashing type machine.
Hydraulic press.
Yeah.
They give it to the guy on the hydraulic press YouTube channel.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, some child labor in some overseas country is, stamping the Olympic logo on it. Mm-hmm. So that's where you're at, best case scenario here.
Okay.
But again, no offense.
No, of course. Of course.
So she reacted. She was okay with the discussion. Was she familiar with the story at all before this?
I think you had asked me that last week, and I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sure that it's come up at some point. Yeah, I was cheated on by an ex-girlfriend with a busboy.
So I purposely did not follow up with you about this. You texted me. I'm trying to find the exact text while you and I were in negotiations about something else we'll get to very shortly. Mm-hmm. You texted me something like, Kim responded, I believe. Is that what you had said?
Let me try and pull up the exact text that I sent you as well.
It was...
Boy, we had a lot of conversations.
I would argue way too much compared to normal.
I mean, boy, all kinds of screenshots.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Sunday morning. I was checking in with you, and you had said also, a response from Kim, exclamation. Mm-hmm. So what I would be curious, because I guess I wasn't attuned to you, what you had originally sent her. So what did you originally send her?
Okay. Now, to get anyone caught up, this is an ex-girlfriend of mine from over 20 years ago.
Correct. We never even got to last week how you reconnected on social media. Like,
I
did
don't
someone
remember.
click send,
Yeah,
whatever? But
I don't remember.
that's minutia.
Yeah. So pulled out the old phone, let the thumbs do the talking. I said, hey, hope you're doing well.
Okay, that's already a very kind start.
It's already good. Yeah.
Because you could have started off with, hey, you cheating piece of garbage.
A Band-Aid just got ripped off today.
Did you really? Is that...
No. I got a bone to pick.
I was talking to my therapist and my podcast.
So, hey, hope you're doing well. I have a very odd request. Don't feel obligated in any way.
Oh, I'm already like, my skin is crawling a little bit. Even I wouldn't even have the gall to send this message, by the way.
Really?
Would not. No.
Okay. On my podcast this morning,
Already a weird statement.
I know, we were on the topic of past relationships, and I talked about how ours ended.
Oh. Listen, you are right now ticking the drunk person who you've taken it upon yourself that you are the caretaker.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is carrying that person in your arms to bed to lay down on a goose down pillow comfortably and cover up and tuck in. You are treating this, one, beautifully. Well done.
Thank you.
Two, with absolute kid gloves, which I think a message like this requires.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be received by somebody who it's going to be completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
Be, what the hell is this? Okay. On my podcast this morning, we were on the topic of past relationships, and I talked about how ours ended. Don't worry. It was all in good fun. We had a good time with it. If I sent you the audio, could you listen and tell me?
Oh, boy. I that's a legitimate shiver. Oh, God.
Could you listen and let me know how you feel about it? It's not released yet, so there's so if there's anything you object to, I'm happy to edit it out. I referred to you by Kim, but nothing else that would identify you. No pressure whatsoever. That was sent on Saturday.
So this was fresh.
Saturday, 11:14 a.m.
Fresh off the record.
It was probably. You probably weren't even back to your house yet.
I'm now, I don't regret it. I'm kind of laughing because I would want to know, hey, how does she reply? Or what is she giggling when she hears me making cuckold jokes? Or, again, is this also a scarring incident for her?
I couldn't possibly see how it would be a scarring incident for her.
You never know. We don't like to kink shame.
So about 3 hours and 21 minutes later, I got a response.
Now, let me ask you during
I look down at my phone and I see
a bubble.
I see this was sent through Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I don't have. I do not have phone numbers. I have social media contacts.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Let me ask you how you feel during this 3 hours and 21. That's 200 minutes. You send this. Are you? Nervous isn't the word. What's the worst that could happen? She goes, no, I don't want to relitigate this. I don't want to talk about it. Can you not talk about it? Whatever.
Yeah.
But are you a little bit...
In which case, if that was the response, I'm not editing anything.
No. This episode's getting released and we just ignore any mention of it again.
This may be a highlighted episode, a bonus episode.
Yeah. But are you a little bit nervous after you've sent this? Are you checking more often, do you feel like?
No.
Okay.
No. It was an awkward message to send, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah, you sent it and you've forgotten it. Okay.
I'm an adult. That's all right. So 3 hours and 21 minutes later, I get a response. Well, this is random. But I appreciate you giving me a heads up.
Wasn't the main goal, but that was nice of you.
I trust you hopefully didn't destroy me too bad.
Oof.
Send it over.
Okay.
So I then forwarded her the audio.
Now you can send that through Instagram. God, I've never felt dumber and more old.
I just sent the link to the pre-published episode.
Wow, a little freebie, a little heads up.
That's
right, folks. We can do that.
So I forwarded that link and I said, "Don't worry, it's only the first 30 minutes or so of the episode."
If I'm her, I'm not saying I'm in a panic. But this probably rehashes a not so pleasant memory for her. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It was probably pretty pleasant.
Yeah, I mean, she seemed
She's
very pleasured that night when she got home from work. I don't know, lack of a better term, I guess.
No, I think that's quite literally the best term to possibly use to describe this. Okay, so you sent that over. This is still all Saturday.
Yeah. So she said, looking forward to it. Currently on vacation in Florida with the family.
Okay, because she's married with a family and yeah,
married, couple kids.
Her and the busboy, it all worked out.
Boy, that would change things.
Wouldn't it?
It would definitely change.
Because this now turns into a romantic comedy where you're like the bad guy. Like during the movie, if her and the busboy are now married with a family, the movie version is you're like a disgusting slob who is like a drunk and you're never home and you're like putting cigarettes out in her pop can. And
yeah, I mean, my hand is 100% of the time down the front of my pants.
all the time. She walks in, you like just nod at your junk like, huh? You're the bad person in the romantic comedy that is Kim's story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll accept that. Okay, so she asked when it posts. I said, don't worry, you got a few days. Saturday. Okay, this is about an hour and a half later. Just listened to 10 minutes of pachyderm talk.
You sent her the wrong episode?
It's the right one.
You sent her the flashback episode.
That's the thing, though. I didn't. I sent her. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Which, by the way, we've got. I got into a YouTube beef on our YouTube last week about the pachyderm episode.
Oh no.
We'll talk about that here.
We just don't have enough time.
No, we don't. We really don't.
All right. Then she said, "Oh, never mind. Think I got it now." Gave a thumbs up. So at this point,
so
now
she's just a tech idiot.
I said. Side note, pachyderm talk was riveting.
Honestly, we had, again, top 10 pachyderm quotes. We wanted to talk about the rhino in the room, not the elephant in the room. Go back and listen to that one. That was a classic COVID episode for Steve and I.
This next message, perhaps, is one of my favorites of the exchange.
Okay. Favorite, like, legitimately, or favorite, like,
Absolutely.
This makes you squirm?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, again, you've never met Kim.
No, I don't know what she looks like. I know nothing about her other than she got it on in the corner booth with a busboy, came home to you, and yelled at you about looking at her phone. That's all I know about her.
Okay. She said, okay, have to go mini golf with the family now.
Mm-hmm. Again, family, husband, children.
Right. I'm quite the changed person, but sincerely sorry for hurting you.
Oh! Wow!
Thank you for not being Kyle and holding a grudge.
Well, listen, now I'm going to need every detail about Kim.
It's so great, though, that in just 25 minutes to a half hour of listening to you, she already knows you.
I feel like
she knows you. She knows you so well.
I'm not the one with the grudge. I simply was wondering, like, how you process that. If there's no judgment here, obviously.
Sure.
If you were to say you had a grudge after this all went down,
right,
which I think is a fair assessment,
and I'm sure that I definitely did.
Yes. How long do you think, for you personally and internally, it took you to process that and move past that grudge about what happened?
I don't know.
Okay. Like a year? Are you talking a year, multiple years,
maybe?
Weeks, months?
I mean, it could have been a year. It could have been months. I don't know.
I mean, this was the Steve Breaking Beds era.
Exactly. This is prime Jet Steve era.
Because I feel like, let's say, if your grudge lasted 1 year, just as a general number, that leaves me 51 weeks to process this grudge on your behalf that I have.
The secondhand grudge.
Yes, so she can take that personally however she'd like. I'm just learning about 20-year-old Kim. I don't know about married with children Kim. All I know is Nina, or whatever the friend's name was, who texted. Janine. I mean, Janine's always the rat, by the way.
Janine then got very mad at me because I texted her from my actual phone. I was like, Janine, why would you encourage her to cheat?
Yeah, well, yeah. At this point, okay, safe to say, especially in the immediate aftermath, you're upset, and now you're reaching out
Yeah.
About, hey, why did you encourage this to happen? Yes.
Yeah. I was very sad, and I was told to shut up or something by Janine.
Oh, good.
But I mean, even Janine, I don't hold a grudge to Janine anymore.
Well, you're a better man than I.
So she said, thank you for not being Kyle and holding a grudge.
You never want to be a Kim, by the way. Like, if we were to now medal stand the three of us, I would not want to be the Kim in this scenario.
No.
Right?
No.
And I'll post that in the poll, too. Would you rather be a Kim or a Kyle in this situation? And we'll let the audience...
Yeah.
I feel like I know how the audience is going to decide that.
So, but that was not the end of the communication.
Did you guys reconnect?
No.
Okay.
No, but remember I had given... There were 2 points during the podcast where I said, Kim, pause it right now and write down the answer to this question.
Yes. And I wish we had had the foresight to pull the exact audio.
That's right. I remember exactly because now, again, this is the middle of the night. I wake up to the text and it's still burned in my memory exactly what the text said. I said, I wonder if Kim remembers. Kim, pause this podcast right now. Pull out your phone, open up the notes app, type out what you think the text said. She sent me a screenshot of, like, she legitimately did it.
Okay.
And in the notes app, it says, no idea what the text said, which did not surprise me at all. This is, again, 20-some years ago. Not surprised at all. And then I said, at a different point, I said, pause it again. Type in what the busboy's name was.
Well, she's never going to forget that. She was, spent the previous 25 minutes in a booth whispering it. Or screaming it. Whatever your brain wants to go.
From the notes app. I also don't even remember the busboy's name.
God, that has to hurt.
That I remember, and she didn't. But
yes,
she did.
It just took her.
Nope. She didn't remember his real name. She remembered the nickname that they called him, which is what I remember. I don't have a clue what the guy's real name was.
No, was it like Floppy the big-eared idiot? Come over here, Floppy, like booth 14.
Big Dong Johnson. Like, really? She said, I also don't remember the busboy's name, but we called him Spicoli because he looked like the guy from Dazed and Confused. Now, I think she's referring to... I think Spicoli was Fast Times at Ridgemont High, not Dazed and Confused. But anyway, she remembered his nickname that they called him. So I guess it's not as bad as it sounds, right?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
She did say... All the busboy stuff is hilarious, though. Which was kind of...
For one of us, maybe.
Kind of hurtful.
Actually, no, it shouldn't be funny for either of us. For any of that. Me? Honestly, the only situation the busboy thing needs to be funny for is me. And I'm the one holding a grudge.
Right.
So no, it can't be funny, Kim. It can't. The idea that you got caught in an affair, physical, emotional, whatever.
Oh, it was physical.
A physical affair.
According to Janine, it was very physical.
20 plus years ago should not be a giggle fest for you and yours. Can you reach out and ask if she still talks to Janine?
I can.
I'd like to get Janine on the phone.
Do you?
It's not going to happen. No, I'm just joking.
Well, that would be...
That's a conversation that neither you or I want to have. Because I believe that would be a first-hand and second-hand grudge.
Because I'm positive that was the last time I talked to Janine.
Sure. Well, why wouldn't it? You were told to go pound sand by her after you called her out.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. So that was the end of it?
So that, yeah, a couple messages back and forth, like, holy crap, I can't believe that was so long ago. Yeah.
It feels like yesterday in my brain, yada, yada, whatever.
Yeah, I still remember it like it was...
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Meanwhile, she can't remember names, places, thoughts.
I sent her then a screenshot of the Pole Badness.
Oh, yes. Oh, about how that's not that had advanced into
where the number 1 seed is Santa, short for Santino, the pizza-making gift giver, went up against the number 3 seed. If you get cheated on with a busboy, you just have to pack in the dating career.
I like that because, 1, that's a funny poll, and I always like hearing it. And 2, for you, that's a little bit of... Because if she's like, oh, kind of laughing it off, you're like, oh, no, hey, that had some ramifications 20-plus years ago. Don't forget it, type of thing.
Should I go back and tag her in the post?
Let's do it. Get our listeners to start following her. Like, Kim, whatever happened to Big Dong Johnson?
And so I sent her that. I said, congrats, you made our yearly tournament. And she said, I'm so proud.
Oh, yeah, she should be. Her parents are, too.
It's time.
Oh, man. This thing is motoring along this year, it feels like.
If you want to be the best, you got to be a fighter. If you want to be the best, you got to show these eyes.
Best decision we ever made. Cutting this down to 32, the 32. It has tightened it up a little bit, made the work more manageable for the social team that we have on staff.
Yeah.
But this past week, Steve, was the excessive 8. We are down to the foolish 4.
We are. Yeah, I was excited to see all the votes come in.
So there is not a lot to recap this week.
No.
We have just the 4 matchups, and the voting will be open. This is going to be a bit of a longer cycle. This one's going to last 2 weeks just based on our recording schedule.
Yeah.
So when these are posted this week, they should. If you're listening to this on on release day on Tuesday, I'm assuming they'll be up by Wednesday. That's the plan. They'll be up for a little extended period. So apologies if you see our social media retweeting those and resending those out and pushing people to vote. In the excessive 8, in the patently absurd division, we have the number 5 seed as anyone's New Year's resolution to poop in the yard more. Now, this thing had been running roughshod, Steve. It won its first matchup, 86% of the vote. It won its Senseless 16 matchup with 86% of the vote. This thing had been just steamrolling competition. Moves on to the excessive 8 to take on the show lore candidate of the year, which I feel like there's always one of those. The number 6 seed did Gordon Lightfoot, care about 28 souls, and one butthole.
One butthole, of course, yeah.
And with 53% of the vote, a close one. Again, goes to show, if you're not voting in these and you're shaking your fist at your car radio or wherever you're listening to this, this is your fault. Did Gordon Lightfoot care about 28 souls and one butthole? Moves on to the foolish 4. That'll be taking on the winner. Oh boy, excuse me. Of the in the what the division. The number 1 seed is Santa, short for Santino, the pizza making gift giver. And that took on, as we just talked about, if you get cheated on with a busboy, you have to pack in the dating career. Now you're hoping this goes one way.
I'm surprised that didn't have a deeper run.
Right? You're hoping this goes one way, right? Like you want the memory of the busboy affair to fade into oblivion and be gone.
I guess. But I also, like we talked about it, I don't know. It's kind of like a ha-ha.
It is, right? But it'll be a little bit different if it's always, like if in 6 months, if I take a photo and right above your head is this poll as the winner of Poll Badness 2024. With 63% of the vote, Steve.
Yeah.
Vengeance moves on. If you get cheated on with a busboy, do you have to pack in the dating careers? Moving on to the foolish 4 to take on, as previously said, did Gordon Lightfoot care about 28 souls and one butthole? Moving over to the asinine division, the excessive 8 matchup was the number 5 seed. Do you have to list the Tennessee poop incident of 2023 when selling your car? Live in infamy here in the Steve house. Taking on the number 6 seed is a shark biting your tootsies, a warning chomp.
Chomp, chomp.
I feel like the short to the point ones do get a little bit of the benefit.
Yeah.
Because they pack a little more punch, right?
Yeah, there's not as much to digest.
With 65% of the vote, is a shark biting your tootsies a warning chomp?
Ooh.
Moves on.
Wow. That's surprising.
And in the final entry into the Foolish 4, the Are They Serious division, the number 8 seed, should we quit this has been Cinderella. Should we quit the podcast and become volleyball anime ASMR voice actors? Took on the number 6 seed is Steve, the Christopher Columbus of the Zach. And if I remember right, the Christopher Columbus of the Zach was a throwaway, not a throwaway, but like a late addition to the field. It was not meant to be.
Nope.
It obviously wasn't a high seed here. With 63% of the vote, though, it's moving on to the Foolish Four.
Wow.
Now, I'm just spitballing here to freshen up Poll Badness 2025 if it happens.
All right. And no doubt we will remember every idea that we come up with right now.
But this one's pretty simple. I think next year we have two sides of the bracket, like normal, 4 regions, but each half will be a Kyle half and a Steve half.
Okay.
So hopefully we can find 16 and 16 worthy Kyle polls and 16 worthy Steve polls in the ultimate matchup.
I'm pretty positive we'll be able to do that.
We'll put it on the burner, but I think that would be an idea to maybe keep this thing fresh and change it up just a little bit.
So we really, and maybe we'll put some money on it too.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No question. So again, your final Foolish Four matchups. The number 6 seed did Gordon Lightfoot care about 28 souls in one butthole, taking on the number 3 seed. If you get cheated on with a busboy, you have to pack in the dating career. And on the other side of the bracket, the number 6 seed is a shark biting your tootsies a warning chomp, taking on his Steve, the Christopher Columbus of the Zach. So we have Steve's heartache. We have Steve being a murderer. And we have 2 show lore polls in the Foolish Four. Can't wait to see who wins this one, and then we can figure out who we need to badger to get us another one of those beautiful, beautiful trophies.
I know, yeah, we got to figure that
God,
out.
I love those things.
Speaking of something I just mentioned, I said next year we can put some money on it. That reminded me, you're going to Vegas in a couple of days, right?
Steve, am I ever?
This is it's a bachelor party.
That's right. I'm a best man in a wedding party.
Man, huh?
Yeah, that's. This is.
Yikes.
Are we at that age now too, where you can kind of count on one hand or no hands, how many weddings you may have, like in terms of like friend weddings or family weddings, until you start getting to the next generation?
Yeah, because when you're in your mid to late 20s, it's like 3 a year for a couple of years. And but yeah, you definitely hit that point where there's the lull. There's nothing.
I think I'm getting there.
Are you?
I think I'm getting down to.
Okay.
We had a couple last year, I think, but other than.
So it's just a couple random losers now who are probably.
Oh God, yeah, disgusting idiots. So yes, I am the best man in this wedding happening in a month.
You got a speech ready?
I don't. I have like 4 notes in my phone, and I'm honestly thinking, as of this past week, of putting my improv chops to the test.
Oh boy.
Do you think that's a good or a bad idea?
So you're just going to go up there with a couple of bullet points and you're going to wing it?
I'm thinking about it. Not even bullet points. Really, just 3.
What was based on this past weekend? What do you mean? You said based on this past weekend, I'm going to let my... Maybe you did.
Oh, no. If I did, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say that. Based on...
What? Did you do stand-up last week?
Oh, God, no. That's the ultimate build-up for this podcast. But I'm thinking about getting up there in a month. Just taking my 3 little story points that I have, like 3 like hash marked, right? Like, hey, this is the opener. This is a funny midpoint. This is a nice high point. Yeah. And then boom, hit them with a joke. I'm out the door.
Okay.
Not to give away the secrets.
No, of course not. But now you're going to record this, right?
I mean, by myself while I'm talking.
Put your phone in your pocket with the voice recorder on.
Even that, or I can just set it down facing upward. Right. I can try to do that.
Katie record it. She going with you?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, she's in the wedding on the other side.
Okay.
Here's my issue with recording it. As you know, how many best man speeches have you delivered in your life? 2. And I think that's what I am at as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe just 1 even. I think maybe just my brother's. Obviously these things, I'm not saying it's like personal, like, oh, I'm telling personal, emotional stuff. To a broad audience, a lot of that, the points that I think would make the wedding laugh or the wedding remember something, obviously won't make the listeners of this podcast.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to be the funniest guy in the room.
Oh, no question.
When you're giving a best man speech.
Yeah, so I've got the flower that squirts water.
Yeah, screw the listeners to this podcast. You make those people roll on the ground. Just blatantly lie to them. Like, I remember that time Mark barfed in his sister's mouth.
Oh, Matt lives 2 houses down from me. Anybody else remember the day he got caught with his Johnson in his hand waddling down the driveway?
Maybe have like a picture.
Yeah.
Get a AI to create that.
Yeah.
Ooh. How about you let ChatGPT write that best man speech?
Oh boy.
What's his name?
Matt.
Okay.
You know what? We'll put that on the back burner. I think
Maybe put it on the poll.
should ChatGPT write?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. I feel like the ultimate, for me anyway, for me this is a competition. I don't even know who the maid of honor, matron of honor is just don't be as crappy as hers is going to be.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can't be worse than the other side.
Because here's what I will say. The next maid of honor speech that I hear that is good will in fact be the first maid of honor speech that I've heard that is good. And I don't know why that is. I'm not trying to make this a gender-related thing. I just feel like the maid of honor speeches always fall into the same camp of bawling and like, you know, when Tim left me 4 years ago for the Pilates instructor, you know, so-and-so was there to help me through it. And then some terrible inside joke about, do you remember the time we went to this bar? It's not open anymore. And I got so drunk and you told me you love me. Like that's it. That's the whole genesis of the maid of honor speech.
I don't think you have to worry though.
No, I don't either.
Because I already have ChatGPT working on your best man speech. Beautiful. It's actually done.
Man.
I'm going to give you the first couple lines of it?
Yes, please do.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and of course, the stars of the show, Matt and his beautiful bride's name.
Oh, hang on, I gotta copy this down.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kyle, and I have the honor and privilege of standing before you today as Matt's best man. First and foremost, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here, celebrate this incredible day with us. Truly means the world to Matt and bride's name to have each and every one of you here to witness their love and commitment to one another. Matt and I go way back. We've been through it all together, from those awkward teenage years to navigating the ups and downs of adulthood. And through it all, Matt has remained the kind of friend that everyone hopes to have in their corner. Yeah. He's loyal. He's dependable. He's always there with a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on.
Okay. I'm copying this down. This is actually really good so far.
I can copy and paste it.
Please email it to me. But use this as a template.
I need it to give more specifics, though. I need it to write it like.
He's an Army veteran. He sports bets with me all the time. He's a big hockey fan. Did any of those items help you? Big Michigan Wolverine fan. He just broke his leg. Can we throw that in there? Make that funny. Actually, put that extra on the end. P.S. He just broke his leg. Can you make that funny?
Okay. Add that Matt's an Army veteran and a degenerate gambler. Matt also likes hockey and has a broken leg.
Okay. And now it's updating for you, obviously.
Yeah. It's gone back and.
Oh man, this is great. Technology helps us so much, as you can see when we make our some weekly posts where we use an AI photo generator. We had some really nice Jetpack Day pictures that didn't quite make the cut because I wasn't aware of a good AI photo generator.
With hands, it just can't get hands right.
But then when I forget who it was who messaged us, sent an updated one of one to use, and I downloaded the app, and it's beautiful. Awesome.
Okay, so just jumping through. But let's not forget about Matt's other passion, gambling. Yes, you heard that right. Matt is a bit of a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, no, that's staying in. This line is happening. Just that way, too.
And I can't even count the number of times I've had to talk him down from making some questionable bets.
Yes. No, I'm keeping this.
But hey, I guess that's just part of what makes Matt, well, Matt.
Boy, I didn't get to the broken leg, though.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then there's hockey. Matt lives and breathes the sport, if you ask me. His dedication to his favorite team is second only to his dedication to bride's name.
Now we'll delete that part.
Although I must say, Matt's enthusiasm for hockey may have landed him in a bit of trouble recently, hence the broken leg.
Well, I mean, he broke it during Police Academy training, but that's fine. I can edit that as necessary.
But knowing Matt, I'm sure he's already plotting his triumphant return to the ice.
Yeah. I love it.
I think this is great.
Yeah.
Print And just hand it to
Yes,
you?
please email
Okay.
it to me. Because, we're going to use that as a template. You're going to be shocked to hear how much of that makes it into the very final best man speech.
I can't wait.
But we digress. So, I'm going to Las Vegas this upcoming weekend, which I'd been to. Now, how many times have you been to there, Steve?
Never.
You've never been to Vegas?
Never been to Vegas.
Pretty decidedly not your type of destination, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a gambler.
Right.
I'm not a... I mean, I'd go to... I think I would go and enjoy it.
Sure.
You know, it's fun to gamble a little bit every now and then. I'm sure that I'd enjoy going to some shows.
Yeah. Here's what I can say safely after having been to Vegas, I think 5 times. This will be 5 or 6. The first time I went for 5 days. And I was freshly 21. And I remember UP Chris and I went to a double feature of movies on the last day because we ran out of money. Okay? 5 days in Vegas is too long.
Yeah.
So what we've really honed in on is I think 2 to 3 days is the perfect amount of time for Las Vegas.
It's kind of what every time I talk to somebody, they always say that. Like, give it a long weekend. You're good.
So we're going out, we're flying out this week Thursday night, like a late flight.
Okay.
And then coming home Sunday afternoon. So 2 full days, 48 full hours, plus Sunday morning in Las Vegas.
Sin City.
The city that never sleeps.
The Windy City.
The Magic City.
The city on the hill.
Motor City. It is, first of all, I say this with no sarcasm, no sense of joking around. It is my favorite vacation destination in the country.
Okay.
Well, top two. I love Las Vegas. I love gambling.
Okay.
I love the sights and the sounds, walking around in what feels like a whole different planet because you're on a street in the desert with some of the most massive structures.
Yeah.
All jammed in. It's incredible to see and witness and be around once. So, I'm going out there this week. I'm going to spend just copious amounts of time gambling. You're not a gambler, though.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
But did you, this used to be this way.
I'm willing to hand you a couple bucks here.
That's from your wallet, right? Definitely not from the money that people have donated over the years.
Just imagine, though, we could turn this into so much more money.
Listen, there's always a lottery out there that could make that.
Yeah.
Like 10
okay.
grand.
I think I'll give you... Can I just Venmo you some money? Or does it have to be physical bills?
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I'll just swap that out for, the cash that I'm planning on bringing.
So if I give you $50, what do you guarantee?
So you want me to gamble? Now listen, first of all, it's gambling. Literally no guaranteeing you anything. Here's what I can guarantee you. It will get used.
Okay.
Here's what I can't guarantee you. A profit.
Should I just give you $50 and say, put it all on red? And you just go to the roulette table and then it's either $0 or $100.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a very distinct possibility. I could do that. I mean, obviously, if you're talking roulette, obviously, if you wanted to do a little sprinkle on some individual numbers, like maybe your kid's birth dates,
Nope.
Your next wedding anniversary,
No,
the day you bought the Comanche.
there you go. Now we're talking. Yeah, Labor Day 2020.
That's right.
Everyone else
That's
remember
right.
it?
9/1/20. That's what I'm going to be at. I'd be happy to do that. I would be happy to put it on a sports bet of your choice.
Nope, don't care.
Okay. But you care about red or black, like that's ingrained in your soul.
Yeah.
That's what you care about.
Well, I mean, look at the Comanche. What colors is it?
Right.
Red
I'd be
and
happy.
black.
I'd be happy to play a blackjack hand for you.
No, don't care about that.
Because I could make that 0, 100, or hear me out, 125. Or I'm sorry, it's like 75 profit, 125 total. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so you're thinking
Roulette.
straight roulette, red or black. Do you want to dabble with craps?
No.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the pass line.
No, you don't need to. I'll gamble for you.
That's kind of where I don't trust you.
Okay, so you want me now? Do you want me to find right when I get there? Now I land 2 a.m. Eastern, like 11:30 p.m.
I'll tell you exactly what I want.
Okay.
I want you to go to the scummiest roulette table you can find.
Okay.
Possibly still in the airport.
I can't. I can picture it in my head right now. I'm walking and it's just off strip. My eyes are closed. I'm looking at all these gorgeous hotels, top to bottom. I mean, you got the pyramid one, and you've got the Mandalay Bay, and you're looking down at the Aria, across the streets of Bellagio, Planet Hollywood, and I'm turning down an alley, and I'm headed to Hooters.
They got tables there at Hooters?
Steve, the last time I was in Las Vegas, I went on just an otherworldly craps heater at Hooters. And I made so much money over the course of like 3 hours and walked out of there in the middle of the afternoon absolutely drunk.
Yeah.
With money. Like profited money.
That's great.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at some point Friday afternoon. Because I can't really do it right. My idea was to go to an abandoned table, which most of them will be on a Thursday night when I land at 11:30 Eastern or whatever. But this needs to be someone taking my phone and videoing you while this happens. So this will have to be a Friday afternoon thing when you're free.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will make time to, again, find that dirty, scummy alley.
Scummiest place you can find.
Wave goodbye to all the nice casinos. Caesar's Palace way down the way. The fountain's all going.
I mean, I want it to be called something like Fred's.
Yeah.
You know, just no one's ever heard of it.
Right.
You walk in and everyone's like, the hell? Who are you?
I'd like to find the casino much like National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation, where it's just high card or guess the number that Chevy Chase's character plays against the dealer.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on going to a place I've never been, which is Old Vegas, Fremont Street. I've never been there. And they have all of the junky old... They have some nice new casinos.
Yeah.
But they also have the dirty, dirty old ones that are still standing. Would you like me to wait until we go there on Friday or whatever to do that?
You know, I'm going to leave that up to you. But let me just tell you, the dirtier and scuzzier, the better.
And
I want you to find the dealer whose shirt is untucked, who like has a margarita half spilled in his pocket.
Yeah. And
but
one
he has
finger,
a straw, so he's drinking it out of there.
like one finger in his nose or in his ear.
Yeah.
And okay, I can do that for you.
Appreciate that.
And then will you decide right then what you want me to bet on for you?
I mean, it might be a game time decision. Yeah,
Okay.
if you can get me on the phone for it, that would be...
I don't want you to like lock in personally right now and say it's got to be red because, if I say, hey, last 10 numbers, it's been 8 black, 2 red, you might change your mind. You might want to go 00.
What if I... Yeah, exactly. What if I go green?
Listen, I'm happy to do it. I can't wait.
Appreciate it.
I can't wait. I will happen.
Appreciate that. And something, if I win a little bit, maybe kick a little, maybe take a buck or two.
I will, I won't do it without payment. But that's happy to do it. Happy to do it. I can't wait. Maybe this is what me, showing you a little video around there while I'm in the junkiest casino I can find. Maybe that's what spurs you to go up and say, hey, Nat.
You want to go to Vegas?
Golly, we should go to Vegas.
She'd go to Vegas in a minute. I would go to Vegas in a minute.
You would?
Yeah, I would. I have nothing against Vegas. I would absolutely go there.
You guys ever thought about renewing your vows? This is way off track of where we need to go to talk to.
I mean, we're only like
You're 5 years in. 6
years
over 5.
In. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, but what's the normal amount of time to do that? Does it have to be like a 20?
I always thought that was like a 20 or 25. At least 10. You got to at least get to double digits.
I'm in very deep internal negotiations. I haven't talked about it with her. About wanting to do this next year for Katie and I for our 10-year.
All right.
But I want to do it correctly, not where
Get
it's
everybody
like
back together. Everyone that was
I wouldn't say everybody, most.
Some cheese.
Some of those people I don't talk to. No cheese. No cheese is even going to be in a building. But I really want to just do it to where it's like 10 minutes, where we renew our vows.
Are you talking like an Elvis cathedral or something? I think if you're going to do Vegas, you got to do it.
I don't want to do it Vegas. That's what I mean. I'm just talking about renewing it. But my idea for you and Annette would be to do it.
Do it in Vegas.
Elvis Chapel style.
Okay.
Little Evelyn tossing flowers down as she races down. Nikki B like ripping the, handles off of the pews in the church.
Okay. Evelyn would love it. I'm sure. I think Annette would do it, honestly.
You think she would?
I do.
Think she'd be down? Listen, and if you're doing
text her right now?
Yeah, please do.
So this is,
it would be 4 years
for
from
our 10-year. Okay.
Because you're at 6 this November, right?
No, we're at 7.
7 this November. You're at 6 now, 7. You got married in 2017?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got married in 2017, so you're coming up on 7.
Yes.
So this will be for 2027. Plenty of time to plan.
Plenty of time.
Oh, okay. Boy.
And if we do it right, it'll be over like a holiday weekend with Thanksgiving in there. Yeah.
If if I squeeze my way into this guest list, I am absolutely going out there. You might not see me at whatever Elvis Chapel you're doing, but I'll be somewhere in Vegas during your vow renewal. Because that's in November, right? That's a good time to go.
Yeah.
It's a good time to go. Gambling my face off. And then I'll meet you in the area with the free drinks after.
All right, the text has been sent for our 10th anniversary. Can we renew our vows at an Elvis Chapel in Vegas?
Perfect. While we wait for that, we need to talk about, this should have been the 8-bit. Mm-hmm. Absolutely should have been the 8-bit, because this is not, if you can believe it, the only trip the Steve and Kyle podcast is planning.
Yeah, this is huge.
Which of these two, without giving, I mean, we teased it, so it's not like it's a huge secret. Which of the two trips we talked about are you more excited about? Potential Vegas to renew your vows in 3.5 years, or should I just say what?
Well, I got a response from Annette.
Yeah.
One was the face.
Okay, yeah.
And one was
She's probably shocked that you actually think she's going to be around in 3.5 years.
One was the green barf face.
What? Man. Just remember, your wife used to party.
Yeah.
Your wife used to be like a crazed animal moving to Dubuque.
Yeah.
Off of her road crew job. Okay, and now you're getting a bar face about going to Vegas.
Yeah.
I hope she comes back with like, oh, can't we do it in like Tallahassee?
They call it the Vegas of the South, you know.
They've got nice beaches. She doesn't sound like that. I don't know.
Not yet.
Well, right, God, yeah. You know what? We've got 3.5 years to grease those skids. 3.5 years. Speaking of greasing skids, you spent the better part, 48, 60 hours or so, I would say, after last week's episode, doing just that.
Skids were being greased.
With Annette about our... It's hard to say this is a smarter idea than either Boston or Van Wert. Because Boston, I feel like we got rewarded. We got to see a bunch of cool stuff.
Boston.
The Cheers bar. We sat at the Goodwill Hunting bench. We went to the bar that we didn't even realize and sat at the exact table that was in that movie. We toured a brewery. Like, we did cool stuff in Boston. We're there for a very, very full day. What we're about to talk about is not that.
No, what we're about to talk about will be something where our boots will be on the ground for 4 hours, maybe 5 hours.
I mean, literally on the ground, 6 hours.
Right, but a lot of that will be
navigating and doing whatever. So, to rip the Band-Aid off, folks, the Steve and Kyle podcast is going to the Gathering of the Kyles in Kyle, Texas. Do we get any hit some fanfare? Hang on. Let me do it one more time.
Okay.
To rip the Band-Aid off, folks, the Steve and Kyle podcast is going to the Gathering of the Kyles in Kyle, Texas. That's right. Steve, fresh off of a radio visit that has not been announced yet. So we're not going to give details.
No, it has.
It has now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely been announced.
So you're going to have a weekend full of Kyle then that weekend because that Friday we need to get the Fathead to Portland, Maine.
Yeah. I'm going to be in Portland, Maine. Leave to go there on Thursday, May 16th. We have a live morning show, live night show on Friday, May 17th. Portland, Maine. Aura is the venue. And then the next day, despite better judgment, instead of taking my 6 a.m. flight that would bring me to LaGuardia and then an 8:30 flight that would bring me from LaGuardia back to Grand Rapids, where I'd be home by 11 a.m.
Yeah, you'd be having lunch with your family.
Lunch with my family. Instead of that 6 a.m. flight to LaGuardia, I'll be taking a 5 a.m. flight to Detroit.
That's right.
Where
close to home.
Where, crazy enough, we will rendezvous.
That's right.
In Detroit.
We're going to hang out together in the lobby of the airline
to take an 8-something flight to Austin, Texas.
That's right, folks. Austin, Texas we're going to be at.
Okay, so we're going to fly to Austin, Texas. We get in at 10:45, I think.
10:45 a.m. And the only thing that needs to happen, we need to be at Lake Kyle Park, I believe is what it's called, by 1 p.m. for the official count to be part of, if this actually works, to be a part of the Guinness World Record for the gathering of the most people with the same first name in one place.
And then we have to be back at the airport by 4.
Well,
No.
we fly out at 4:45.
So we have to be back by like 3 o'clock.
3:30.
There's a chance
Yeah.
that our arriving flight, like if that gets delayed, we could be delayed so long that we would actually miss our departure flight to come right back.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. And that, I mean, if you want to talk about worst case scenario, that's it. Right there is missing our return flight. And then, because at that, I'm guessing that's the very last flight going to Grand Rapids.
Well, it's Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah.
So as long as we can get to Detroit,
Yeah.
we can figure, it might be another hour or so after.
Not driving. Called it right now.
Well, at that point, I'm not sleeping in an airport, so I'll drive us.
So, yeah, this is, again, we will be time that we are not in an airport or not in a car.
That's right.
Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah. Now, this is at Lake Kyle Park, near Austin, Texas. That's why we're flying in. May 18. We've got a party planned there. Listen, I just want enough time to have some nice Texas barbecue, some ribs, get counted.
You are really, really being aggressive.
Well, we're going to be, I mean, we're going to, here's what we need to figure out.
I think we're getting some airport ribs.
Here's the last thing you and I need to figure out, because there's 2 hours. This is about 25-ish miles away from the airport to this place we need to go. And so I'm just looking at the Saturday, May rundown. Man, they've got the City of Kyle Twirlers at 10 to 10:30. We're going to miss that. The official count's at 1 o'clock. Mariachi Classicos, 11 to 12:30. The People's Choice Fajita competition is 2 to 3:30. And that's probably the last thing we're going to be able to see.
Yeah,
We're
the
going to
fajita competition will be the last.
I apologize to our friends Mike Gonzalez and the Iconics. They're playing from 4 to 5. We're not going to be able to see them. But yeah, I mean, this is a fair with rides, music, food trucks, all this stuff. I just want to have some Texas food, talk to some of the people on the ground with some of our mics that we're going to pack and bring, and be able to sleep in my own bed that night.
I have...
God, this is so dumb.
Yeah, this is very dumb. This is what we decided to empty out the coffers on.
Yes, we did.
But I was able to kind of hoodwink the side gig.
That's right.
I took my return flight, which wasn't paid for by me, wasn't paid for. Actually, it wasn't paid for by the side gig either. It was paid for by the radio station that we're going to visit. I just went in and I did a little scoobly-doo and switched that flight to fly to Austin instead. So saved a couple bucks there for the podcast. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So now we do have a very few bucks in the coffers yet.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you and I need to figure out is...
Oh, that's our spending money for the time on the ground.
Okay. I'm trying to find, and I apologize whoever did. I promise you, Steve, somebody posted on one of our social medias that as they were listening last week...
Oh, they were driving through Kyle,
They stopped at the sign for Lake Kyle Park. Now, do you think there's an option? We need to find who this person was and what social media... I commented back. I apologize for forgetting. We just need to figure out how to get from the airport to there.
And I think I know what you're saying. I think we're going to strong-arm this person.
I think we're going to absolutely force this person into driving us to the gathering of the Kyles.
Hanging out with us the whole time.
Absolutely.
We'll buy you some barbecue.
Yeah, you're our guide.
Yeah.
You know, I'll set you up on the Ferris wheel, whatever there is there. You know, the little metal slide that's going to just scrape your butt cheeks all the way down and you're going to walk funny.
Oh, boy, it sounds so nice.
All yours. All yours. It's either that or I looked at like scheduling an Uber for us. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be advisable.
That's going to be a pretty expensive Uber.
That was just there would be about a $70 Uber.
Oh, that's actually not
if
as
we
bad.
schedule.
Not as bad as I thought.
But I also looked. We could just rent a car.
Yeah.
For 6 hours, and it was like $35.
But we need to make sure that it's like the speedy checkout rental car place.
It would have to be to the point where I could guarantee all of our info is done like in advance.
I want one of those like skip the counter, just go and pick a car and drive.
Right? Okay. I don't know how many of those. I don't travel enough to be aware of that stuff, but yeah, that would be an option. So when I wish I had planned ahead and actually figured out who messaged us or who showed us.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
This that they live there, because boy, that'd be fun if we can get a listener incorporated in this. If you live in Texas and you're free, again, this is Saturday, May 18.
I have a friend in Texas, but he's like I already asked him. He's like 3 hours away.
Everything in Texas is like 3 hours away too. It's bonkers. If you're there, if you're free that day, please come hang out with us for a very few hours.
Bonus points if your name's Kyle.
Oh, honestly, yeah. If you can be a part of this.
I'll bring you a T-shirt. I already have Annette working on shirts.
Oh, okay. I was just
One
going to talk to you about
says
that.
Kyle.
Yep.
And then the other one says, I'm with Kyle.
Absolutely.
With an arrow. I just have to make sure I always walk on the correct side.
No question. Yeah. This is very much a segregated gathering, but just not in the way that Texas history is used to.
Yeah, maybe not the right choice of words for where we're going.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
All right.
But again, Saturday, May 18, this is happening. The Steve and Kyle podcast is going to be on the ground. And for all intents and purposes, our podcast that following week, which will be, the 21st of May, will have been a live recorded version of us doing stuff on the ground at this gathering of the Kyles.
Do we take the mics and we use the time in the car to record the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Car, airport lobby while we're waiting to get back on the plane. The podcast is going to be done because I am not seeing you on Sunday.
No.
That's a guarantee. The next time I'm going to see you is the following week when, shocker, I think we're going to try to do another live parade cast.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have to get in touch with Delta, see what the refund policy is.
I'm pumped. Busy year coming up for the Steve. Again, 6 hours on the ground. This is Saturday, May 18. Be sure to follow us on social media because we'll be posting content.
Roughly 4 usable hours.
At best. At best. I think we're talking about less than 150 minutes at this gathering of the Kyles total.
Oh, I think that's being way aggressive.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
All right, at Steve and Kyle, all of the info will be posted there. If you're in Texas, if you're close to Kyle, Texas, Austin, Texas, that general area, reach out, let us know. We would love to have you as a part of this. Like when we went to Boston, we went to Van Wert, we had listeners join us there. This would be awesome. If we could get somebody to meet us up in the middle of Texas.
Man, if someone picks us up from the Austin airport and brings us to, that would be, one, a godsend, and two, probably the luckiest stroke of podcast luck ever.
All right, all the info again on social media at Steve and Kyle. We will talk to you next week. See ya.